Okay, let us start now. First, you have the precept sheet. The 3 refuges and the 8 precepts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For those who are not good at it, then you can refer to the page. We go with the Namo Tassa with Vandana homage. So the first line I will recite, then you recite 3 times. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. You continue. Dutiyampi. Tisarana gamanang paripunang ama bante. Okay, next page. We do the 8 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanathana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. idang me silang magapala jnana sa pacayo hotu appamadena sampadeta amapante. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. So welcome to this retreat. Yeah. This is the now we have been postponing this retreat for a couple of years, past 2 years. Supposed to come at 2020. Lucky I didn't come. If not, it's going to be difficult to go back. Yeah. So anyway, we have after a hiatus of 2 years, then we're back again here to do a retreat. Now the last 2 or 3 retreats we had, it 10 days. Now increased to 2 weeks. Yeah. So it's good. Yeah. Good. Because the longer that you're able to do a retreat, it will be more beneficial. All right? Now for those who do not know me, yeah, I'm a Malaysian monk. My name is Gavesi. Yeah. You can call me Bhante Gavesi. Bhante is a form that you can address a monk, a bhikkhu. If Bhante is generally you can address for all monks actually. Sometimes you have Sayadaw, then it's Burmese tradition. Ajahn, Thai tradition. Hamdru will be Sri Lankan tradition. But Bhante is cover for everything because that is Pali. Okay? Bhante means teacher usually. Yeah? And all right. So I know some of you came from different forms of different form of meditation, and you came here to. You have done other meditations before. I mean, it's good. Yeah. But in the meantime, for the next 2 weeks, I want you to put everything aside. If you don't put that aside, then there will be a confusion as we go into the next few more days, as we go into 10 days and so on. There will be a lot of confusion if you just do what you want to do and I teach another thing. Yeah? So you have to follow what I say. Yeah? Then after you finish the retreat, then you can go back and do whatever meditation that you like. Fair enough? Okay? That only we can learn something. Yeah? If not, I've met in the past that you're teaching one thing, they're doing another thing, and then after that, they don't really listen to you. Then after that, they get even more confused. Okay? So we start slowly because there are a number of beginners here in this retreat. So I'm not going to go fast. And also some of us also may have a trouble understanding English that well. So I may not use such big words. I will use easy English. Okay? Simple English, easy English. So as long as you understand, then that will be very good. Okay? And also, as we grow older, I notice that words also has to be slower. Then only you capture something. You're not like 20-year-olds, 30-year-old, they can speak very fast, then everything goes in. Whereas you grow older, it's different. That's why you see sometimes the older monks, when they give talks, they give slowly. Because that's the nature of you growing old. I'm on the way. Anyway, good. So just now, Sister Leewen has gave you all some general idea what to do over here, right? What I'll do is that I'll give you some basic instruction, and also we go through a little bit on the schedule. Yeah? Just the first thing is not on the schedule, but the first thing is you have the guidance to interview, right? Good. Okay. That is also a kind of like a instruction in a concise form. To that, then later we'll discuss on it. But what is important here as we begin this retreat? We will keep noble silence. Okay? The first thing we do, we keep noble silence. Hopefully, with this noble silence, you don't disturb others, and others don't disturb you, especially in a speech. Noble silence including your texting too, right now. Your internet also. Everything of your mobile phones, you put aside. I'm not sure whether you collect the mobile phones here or not. Because in other retreats, all the mobile phones is collected. You may rebel, but it's good for you actually. Because nowadays we want to feel connected. And that type of speech, that type of things that we are doing with the texting, you don't realize it how much it creates what we call the restless mind, the too much thinking mind. Yeah. So hopefully these 2 weeks, you put it aside as best as you can. We cannot monitor you. I cannot able to monitor you. So I trust you that you can able to put this aside. But in case that you need like a life and death thing, maybe you see me or you see Leewen for it. Of course, and at your room you can just turn it on and look at it. But the thing is that the moment you start looking at it, you will start reading other messages also, because they're going to come in one after another. So try to off your phone. Put all your phone aside, put all your tablets aside. Disconnect from the world for at least for 2 weeks. That will be very helpful. Because we cannot bring the mind down. We cannot bring the mind to settle. Then it's going to be difficult for you even to start a retreat. Right? So put aside all your mobile phones, put aside all your messaging and so on, unless it's life and death. Hopefully it doesn't come to you or to somebody else. This is one thing. Now the second thing, which I'm going to remind you again and again, is to slow down. We learn to slow down. And that is to say, slow down means physically, your physical actions has to be slowed down. That means you walk from this hall to your kuti or to your rooms, or your kuti you want to go to the toilet, or you want to go to the dining hall, you're back again. Everything you do it slowly. You walk slowly. Slowly in the sense that it's not as fast like what you are doing at home, but it's in a more gentle pace. And that gentle pace, what we want also is to make sure that your mind also in the present. That, you're doing slowly, but your mind is at home. Then no mindfulness, no development. Now, being slow, slow enough, but not too slow until you become very tense up. But slow enough that your mind and your body can synchronize. That is to say, when you walk, when you open the door, when you close the door, you do it slowly, not to disturb others, but more importantly, to keep your mind in the present. You wear your shoes, you wear your sandals, at home and in your room. You're going to do a lot of all this like wearing your clothes, taking off your clothes, every small little thing. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to transform them into a meditation practice. Every small little thing. Then only you will see some form of development. If you think that the meditation is only here in this hall and then you go out and that's it, then you don't have going to gain much. Okay? Then what we want also is not just only mindfulness, but we want a continuity of mindfulness. That continuity is difficult to do. Mindfulness is not difficult. Continuity of mindfulness, that is difficult. But it can be trained. So the next 2 weeks, we're going to look into this area. We're going to train you. We're going to push you. Yeah. Sometimes I may be a bit fierce. I'm not all the time smiling. Meditation teachers have many faces. Yeah. Sometimes they smile at you. Sometimes the next day is totally different face. Yeah. It also reminds me, that in China, in Sichuan, there's this opera thing, that change face. Have you seen that before? Then you go right in front of the face go into so sometimes meditation teachers are like that. So as long as you do your job, they'll be happy. Sometimes if you go a little bit faster, if you change, you forget about being slow. If I were to see you, sometimes I will shout at you. Yeah, the Sayadaw may be shocked, but I have to do my job, you see. Yeah. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. All right. So you have to learn to slow down. Okay. But it needs to be reminded again and again. Yeah. Even when you go to lunchtime or breakfast time, you learn to slow down too. That how to eat a lunch, how to eat your food, that also has to be taught mindfully, with a way of mindfulness. That also we are going to cover on that in the next few days. The way that we eat at home, everybody knows how to eat. But to eat mindfully, to eat precisely, to eat carefully, that needs to be trained. Okay? So, slow down in all your activities. You go from one place to another, you slow down. Okay? Now, let's look into the schedule here. I'm not sure whether you have it or not. Maybe you don't have it. It is all pasted up in the somewhere in the class there. So y'all take a look. So, first thing, we wake up at 4 a.m. Now, 4 a.m. For a lot of you, it's not the right time. At home, you don't wake up at 4 a.m. Right? But it's going to take you a few days to adjust. All right? It's going to take you a few days, just like a jet lag like that. It's going to take you a few days to adjust, to wake up at 4 a.m. and to sleep at 10 a.m. At 10 p.m. No, 10 p.m. That would be good, isn't it? To sleep at 10 p.m. So we have to change slightly on our way of how we sleep and how we wake up. Change the rhythm a little bit. But it's going to take you a few days. First few days is going to be difficult for you to wake up at 4 a.m. So maybe I give you 3 days for your honeymoon period. Then after that, we'll check. So 4 a.m., you try to wake up. All right? Now, so you have a sitting at 5. So you have you wake up mindfully, go to a toilet and wash up carefully. Then you come to the hall or to the pagoda. Then you do a little bit of walking there. Hmm? Either here or inside there, you can do a bit of walking. Then at 6 or around 6:05, 6:10, then we will take this 8 precepts in the morning, right? We'll take 8 precepts in the morning. So by 6:30, the monks will ring the bell. Then we go for breakfast. So we go slowly, okay? Sometimes you may come in slightly late. It's okay, maybe 5 minutes. It's perfectly all right. But as long as you do it slowly, carefully, mindfully, then it's perfect. We don't have to all start together, especially for the yogis. For the monks, of course, we will start we will start together. We will start together in the front. But if the yogis, you come in slightly late, it's perfectly all right. So, after breakfast, we have a bit of cleanup. Liwen, have you told them what to clean up?
Not much, just the public bathroom. So there's really no actual duty.
Oh, actual duty. Okay. So whoever comes in here, see a bit, you want to clean up the floor, fine, no problem. Okay. So do a bit of cleanup to the, especially the meditation hall here, and also towards your on your own kuti, your own rooms, and also to the public toilet. All right. So we have a 1 hour sitting. After breakfast at 8 and 9 o'clock, we have 1 hour walking. Then we have sitting, walking until 11 o'clock. Then 11:15, we have lunch. We have lunch. Then after that, we can rest. So by 1 p.m., we have a group sitting. Group sitting here again means that everybody come into the hall to sit. In the morning, there's also sitting and walking too. But in the mornings, usually I will do the interviews. The interview will be in the library. Library is somewhere there. Library. Here? There. Here. Okay, yeah. The library is somewhere here. Okay. So we'll use the library for interview. The interview will start next 2-3 days. What I'll do is that I will interview those who are total beginners. I'll interview you all. Then after that, maybe give you all for those who have some experience. Then maybe after 4 days, 5 days, then we'll start the interview. Okay. I just want to make sure that the beginners do the right thing. Then, so we have group sitting here, 1 hour sitting, walking. Until 6 p.m., we have refreshments. That one will be Sister Liwen. They will think of something for you. Then 7 o'clock, we have group sitting, then walking again at a little bit. Then at 8:15, then we'll start off with the guided meditation and Dhamma talk. This time the guided meditation, we will do guided metta. It's a form of meditation also from the Buddha also. And we'll try to do a short, maybe 15-20 minutes of guided meditation. Then after that, we proceed with the Dhamma talk. So maybe about by 9:30, 9:45, around there, we will finish the Dhamma talk. Then after that, we share merits. Then by 10 o'clock, lights off, take rest. Now, so this is something. If you are not sure what I've just said just now, you can always refer to the the schedule on the class. There are a few here and there. Yeah? All right. Now, let's talk about the first thing. Let's talk about walking meditation before we talk about sitting meditation. In this meditation that we are doing, which is the Mahasi method, here this meditation that we are doing, the Mahasi method, it consists of 3 specific areas. First one is the walking meditation. Second one is the sitting meditation. And the third one is all the daily activities, which is not sitting and not walking. That too, we have to develop as a form of meditation. That means your lunch, your breakfast, your shower, in your room, you're changing your clothes, all those things, these 3 areas. We're going to cover these 3 areas. And as the days goes on, as the talks goes on, then in the next few days, then we're going to go deeper and deeper into the technique and also in the understanding of why we should do this and how we should do this and that. So the first day, for right now, we're just going to touch on the basic instruction. Okay? First, you have to take this walking meditation seriously. If you don't take this walking meditation seriously, it's going to affect your sitting meditation. Your sitting meditation, for a lot of people, will not able to develop because the walking meditation is not done properly. Yeah? When it says properly, that means precisely, and there's a lot of things that's going inside there. And we want you to develop that technique. Because you develop that technique, you can transfer the whole clarity of the mind into the sitting. And it makes the sitting much more clearer than before. Yeah? So don't underestimate the walking meditation. So the first thing you have to understand about this retreat is that I emphasize a lot on the walking meditation. You will see when after a number of days, if you do it properly, you'll see that your sitting meditation will start to improve. First few days, your sitting meditation is not going to go very clear. There'll be a lot of sleepiness. There'll be a lot of restlessness. A lot of thinking. A lot of, if you're just, especially for those who just finish their work, or quickly finish and then come to a retreat, try to close everything, whatever, for the next 2 weeks. You think you close there? You're going to bring over here, you sit down, and then the mind will start processing all over again. So it's not easy. For the next few days, especially the sitting meditation, there will be a lot of thinking. So because of that, it's not so easy for you to build up clarity and mindfulness. So what is important, therefore, we build it up from the walking meditation. Okay? We build up from the walking meditation. So take the walking meditation seriously. Take it as when they say that we give you 1 hour. Make sure you finish that 1 hour. Or at least like 55 minutes. At least 55 minutes. Try to do that. First few days, if you're sitting slightly shorter, I don't mind. It's not a problem. But the walking meditation, you do it well. You do it properly. Now, this 1 hour walking, for many of us, a lot of us may not be so into it. Sometimes, most of the time, we do walking meditation. It's just walking up, walking down, walking up, walking down, a few rounds, and then you feel happy, and then you sit down. that not going to cut here. Yeah. More than that. There's much more than that. There's so much more than that. All right. In order to begin this walking meditation properly, yeah. Now, give you a rough estimate. We have 1 hour. And that 1 hour, we're going to divide into 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. First 20, second 20, third 20. All right? Then in the first 20 minutes, we will do what we call the one-phase walking meditation. Okay? The one-phase walking meditation. The second 20 minutes, we do the two-phase walking meditation. And the third 20 minutes, we do the three-phase walking meditation. Right? For first phase, second phase, third phase, especially for the beginners. Now, when you do a walking meditation, when you want to do a walking meditation, then it's walking. It's walking. It's just that how you put your attention to your movements. It's not. There's no special way of walking. There's no special. There's no externally when you look at another person. There's no something special. It's just like going more slowly. The only thing is slowly, but there's no something esoteric and all that thing. That we don't have those things. So what you do is here, when you want to start to walk, you do standing. And maybe Sister Lee would, thank you. Yes. Liwen, no, Liwen. To help them to give them visualize what is walking. All right? Okay. Now, when we start walking meditation, you take a lane. All right? We have a few lanes at the back there. We go crisscross here in this way. And then we can also do in between the cushion also. So after you sitting meditation, make sure that some of the things put at the side so that we can do walking meditation in between the cushion. So not enough places, we can do it at the pagoda too. All right? Okay. Or if you want to do outside now. But outside, I don't really recommend actually. We'll tell you later on why. Now, when you want to start a walking meditation, so your body, you keep it straight and you keep it relaxed. You keep it straight, you keep it relaxed. Your eyes is about 5-6 feet in front of you. Don't look at your eyes here and there. What is also important for walking meditation is that we are not supposed to keep on looking at everything. Your vision is always your vision is always 5-6 feet in front of you. Now, your head can be tilted down a little bit, or you can straighten up as long as your eyes are there, and you don't look here and there unless something urgent or something or emergency. You need to look far, and then the moment you look, then you bring your attention down again to 5 or 6 feet in front of you. Then the hands. Hands you can put at the back if you want to. You can put in front. Or you can put like that. Or you can put in your pocket. As long as your hand is not moving. Only the legs move. Okay? Only the legs move. So as you like. But try not to change it too much, You put it 1 minute here, then next minute here, then 1 minute there, then 1 minute here again. Cannot. You cannot do that. You just keep it there. Let's say keep it until like half an hour or 20 minutes. Then only if you feel that it's tight or this one, then perhaps you change. But try not to change too much also. These are some of the subtle things that we have to build up. Because if you don't build up on that, once it become a habit, then it's going to be difficult to undo. So she stand there, all right? Now she's ready to walk, but she don't walk, she don't straight away go into walking. Yeah. Now what she will do is this. She's standing right now. So the first thing what you do is that you label it as standing, 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 standing. Just to bring the mind back to the present moment. And you use labeling. If you are Vietnamese, what is standing? How do you label Vietnamese standing? Đứng. Okay. You can use it if you want. You can use Mandarin, Cantonese, whatever language, doesn't matter. What matter is your mind is here. The labeling help you to settle the mind in the present. Okay, so you're not standing, 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 standing. You're not 4 or 5 times, and just to bring your mind here. Not that standing here and your mind is at home or with your grandchildren, So make sure that your mind is here. Okay? If the thoughts come in, put them aside. Put them aside for now. Put them aside. Bring the attention back to the body here. Standing, 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 standing. Now, when you're ready to walk, you should not just start walking in this way, just like what we do at home or anywhere. As a yogi, as a meditator, before we start walking, we note the intentions. All right? We note the intention. How we note the intention? So, mentally, you say it out. Not verbally, mentally. You said, intention to walk, intention to walk, intention to walk. 3 or 4 times before you start the walking. Get it? Yeah? Intention to walk, intention to walk, intention to walk. All right? This is even before you are moving anywhere. You're still there. You're still standing. Then after 3 or 4 times of 3 or 4 labelings that you have done, then only you start walking. Okay? Now, after the labeling, then you start with the one face walking meditation, or they call it one step walking meditation. Yeah? One step walking meditation is not too fast and also not too slow. It's quite a relaxed walking. So she walks. Okay, you want to start walking. Yeah. Not too fast, not too slow. What is important? While she is doing it, internally, you label it as, if it goes on the right step, you label it as right step. If it goes on the left step, you label it as a left step. Can do that? Right step, left step, right step, left step, right step, left step, right step, left step, until you finish your path. Okay? So this is one phase walking meditation. Some of us may not be so easy to go slow. Again, it takes training. It takes some training for you to learn to slow down. Because a lot of us, we are not used to it. We're not used to it. So we go one phase first. Right step, left step, right step, left step. Now, she walks again. She walks again. Now you come to the end of your walking. You come to the end of your walking. Then she about to stop. She knows that she's going to stop also. If you can catch it. Then she comes into a path of standing. So then what you should do when you are standing? Standing. Good. At least you know. Then standing. All right? Now, if you want to, now she wants to turn back to face the path again. Okay? So you can do like intention to turn, intention to turn. Or if you just want to do turning, then it's fine. Yeah? Then you note turning, 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 turning. Then slowly turn. Then she turns. Turning, 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 turn. And then she faces the path again. And then what she do again right now? Standing, 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 standing. Then you note before she walks, intention to walk, intention to walk. Then she start right step, left step, right step, left step, right step, left step. Can do that? No? Sounds easy. It's not too difficult. Even the child there also understand, you know. It's not too difficult. But the difficult part is that to keep your mind there. That is difficult because as much as you want it to be there, your mind will start running. That is difficult, to keep the mind present. So, this one we'll talk in a short while. So, after let's say 15-20 minutes later, 15-20 minutes later, you find that your mind is more settled. You find that your body is more relaxed. Okay? When you find that your body is more relaxed, then what you should do is that you begin to go on the two-phase walking meditation. 15-20 minutes later. In the two-phase walking meditation, the speed is slower than the first phase. Okay? The speed is slower than the first phase. Which we're going to do on the third phase later, and then the speed for the third phase is the slowest compared to the first and second. Okay? So slow, slower, slowest. Okay? So when it comes to the second phase, again, we do the same thing. We note the standing, standing, standing. Then you note intention to walk, intention to walk. Then you start walking. Now, here she start walking. She will do like a lifting, dropping. Now the labeling becomes two parts. Just now only right step, left step, but this time is lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. Then try. Lifting, dropping. You may not see it that clearly, but she's going a bit more slower. Just lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. Don't bring your leg too high up, It's only about 2 or 3 inches above the ground. Some people like to bring all the way to right to the knee. It's very weird. So it's just normal walking, slower in the face. So lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. So you make sure you label. If you don't label, it's very easy for the mind to run. The labeling, it helps you to anchor you onto your meditation object. And that movement is your meditation objects. All right? So make sure you label. So lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. All right? Now, while she is doing this lifting, dropping, or even in the right step, left step, in the first few days, if the thoughts come in, be aware of them and just put them aside. Don't try to note the thoughts yet, because you will fall into their story and then you get dragged into it. So don't go into the story first. In the later talks, we'll teach you how to exactly pay attention to the thoughts as a meditation object. But in the beginning, we don't do that yet because they are too subtle and too fast for a lot of people. So if the thoughts come in, put it aside first. Be aware of it. Don't go into their story. If you happen to fall in the story, come out of it, then continue with your steps. Continue with your steps. Make sure you come out of the story, any imagination, any memory, any thoughts, any planning. Don't fall into their trap. can do that. The first thing, first thing you're going to do is this, actually. No matter how many times I'm going to remind you, you're going to fall into it. But this is a training. It's a training. It's your training to pull the mind out from the thoughts. Okay? So in other words, when you do the lifting, dropping, if the thoughts come in, you catch the thoughts, then you just put the thoughts aside. Bring the mind back again to the movements of the feet. Yeah? Right step, lifting, dropping, or right step, left step. Okay? Yeah. So you do that 2 phase also for the next 15-20 minutes, roughly. Yeah? 15-20 minutes. Now, the next thing, after like 15-20 minutes, you want to go to the to the slowest phase. The slowest phase, of course, in some technique you have like 4 phase, 5 phase, 6 phase. You don't have to worry about that. 3 phase is more or less sufficient. And also later part we're going to add in a few things here and there, and it makes the meditation becomes much more solid, actually. Yeah? In the third phase, then you go slower than the second phase. So this time the third phase will be, or the 3 phase will be lifting, pushing, dropping. Okay, the 3 labelings will be there: lifting, pushing, dropping. Just now the first one is just lifting and dropping. So this time is lifting, pushing, dropping. Okay? So again here, you note the standing, then you note the intention. Then, when after you note the intention a few times, then you start the movement. So lifting, pushing, dropping. You may not able to see it that much. Yeah? You can lift up, like, again, for some people 2-3 inches, or sometimes some people just glide above the floor. Yeah? So lifting, pushing, dropping. It's about, not too wide, a bit nearer, a bit. Yes, it's about the pace of 1 feet to another is about 1 or a little bit more. Don't go too far away. It's going to be difficult to walk. So it's about 1 in front of the other. So and also it's not too like too. Sometimes some people just walk half of the length of the foot, and then it's not so good. Just give it a bit more glide, a bit more forward, about 1 to 1.5, somewhere there. Then you drop. As you drop, you note the dropping. So when it's lifting, you note the lifting, pushing, dropping. Now, what is important here right now? In the lifting, pushing, dropping, I want you to note a little bit more things. To pay attention to it more precisely. As you lift, what can you feel? Can you feel like a bit of tightness there? Can you feel a bit of heaviness there? Can you feel a bit of cold perhaps? Maybe a warmth perhaps? Maybe you can feel your stocking and your socks are touching the floor or touching your base of your feet. You try to learn to feel what is happening there. That learning to feel is very important for vipassana meditation. Yeah. Some people just lifting, pushing, dropping. What else do you note? Walking on you. And then there's nothing much for you to develop. Yeah. So in other words, you have to pay attention more precisely. Lifting, then how can you able to notice something? Then pushing. What can you notice in the pushing? Maybe it can be a bit faster, sometimes a bit slower, sometimes a bit heavier, sometimes it goes slightly slanted a bit. All these tiny things are vipassana objects, are important for vipassana meditation. So don't take it for granted. Don't take those small little things for granted. And as you drop, for example, when you drop, sometimes you may notice hardness, softness, warm, cold, pressure. Then pay attention to them. Can do that? Okay, Devan, thank you so much. Sadhu. So, in the lifting, pushing, dropping, precision of noting is very important. Yeah. It's not just walking only. Yeah. It's a lot of effort to be done there. So try for 20 minutes or so. Then this third phase, we will lengthen it after maybe a number of days, 3 or 4 or 5 days later. We're going to do a little bit more like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, And then the first phase, second phase, we're going to shorten it, the time. Yeah? But in the meantime, while we begin, make sure that you learn how to do the first phase, you learn how to do the second phase, you learn how to do the third phase, the 3 phase, altogether, everything. Yeah? In the first phase also, while sometimes when you do right step, left step, sometimes you may feel some hardness, softness, warmness. You take note of those things also. Yeah? But you don't have to be so precise. Okay, you don't have to be so precise like in the third phase. You take note, like sometimes you just carry on walking, but sometimes you can feel a hardness there, a softness there. Then you take note of it. In the second phase, also the same thing. Sometimes you can able to notice a bit of heavy, light, pressure, tightness, vibration. Just take note of them whenever they arises. Sometimes in the beginning you may not able to notice them that clearly, but make the effort to pay attention. As you make the effort to pay attention, the mind get used to noticing this type of phenomena, this type of object. Then as you begin to notice them, as you get the hang of it, you get used to it, then things become more clearer. Okay? So you try that. You try it as best as you can. You cannot be lazy doing this. You should not be lazy doing this walking meditation. If you are lazy, it's going to affect all other form of other thing. So as I said, again, first few days, this is going to be very important. This walking meditation is going to be very important to you. All right? Any question before we go into the sitting meditation? You're going to have a lot of questions, don't worry. The only thing you start doing, then you have questions. You're going to do, how is it? Can you do this? Can I do that? Should I do this or not? Then the interviews will help you to undo a bit here and there to straighten you up a little bit more. How many times? As you, let's say for example, it depends. If you are standing, you note it like 4 or 5 times, which is within like few seconds actually, and then like lifting, pushing, dropping. You just, as you lift, you just label it once will do. Then pushing, you label it once. You dropping, you label it once. But while you are labeling it, you try to notice some other phenomena like hardness, softness, pressure, and what is going on. Because the labeling helps you to anchor the mind there. I mean, ideally, it's better without socks. But with the weather here, it's impossible. Maybe next time we do in the summer. But you don't like the heat. Another problem. It's the same thing. It's cold. Anyway, so you label it. So standing, you label it a few times. Intentions, you label it a few times. But while you're walking, you label it as once. That means Each movement you label it once will do. But this is not. This is a basic thing. This is a basic instruction, because as we go deeper, sometimes there may be 2 or 3 lifting going on. Then we will label 2 or 3 times also. But don't worry about it now yet. Things can get a little bit more clearer as you develop further. Okay, so make sure you do your walking meditation right. Don't do it like what you have done in the past. Just walk up and down as you like. You sit. No, you follow the time. 1 hour walk, 1 hour sit. Right. Next. Yes, Eva. How to avoid being lazy? Just keep doing. You have to just keep doing. You have to pull your mind out from it. You got to grit your teeth and just keep it going. There's no special technique. Even sometimes the Buddha mentioned that sometimes you have to just pull ourselves, grit our teeth, and just keep it going. Of course, people say, "Oh, you're aware of your laziness. You're aware of." This is not going to overcome our laziness. Actually, right in the beginning, in the beginning part of it, you say, "Oh, I'm lazy. I acknowledge I'm lazy." Do you think you're going to make you more effort? No, I don't think so. No, you got to push yourself. In other words, here, the group meditation is good. Everybody walks, you see everybody, you also will have the effort. You see everybody sit, you also want to sit. But if you're at home, you want to do it alone, nobody else around, we'll take our time, and then after that we give up. But here, you are being watched. By me, especially. So don't worry. Just keep it going. Keep it going. There's no special remedy for it. It's just faith and confidence, and we just keep pulling through. All right. Okay, we go to the sitting meditation. Right? We go to the sitting meditation. Now in the sitting meditation, also we have 1 hour sitting. But as I said, the first few days, if you just take 45 minutes, also is perfectly all right. And also sometimes if you are new and you are very new, sometimes you can't even sit. You cannot even sit 1 hour. You cannot even sit 1 hour. Sometimes you may, by 30 minutes, buttock pain, my leg is going to break. And then you get up. But there are ways to overcome them. Not to overcome the pain, but how you overcome the way how our mind looks at the pain and the difficulty that is coming up with the sitting meditation. All right. So, what is important? When you develop your walking meditation, you build up the momentum, you build up the clarity, you build up the concentration, you build up the precision of noting, everything that you build up. Slowly, you bring yourself into the sitting. Slowly bring yourself into the sitting. And if you can, if possible for you, then don't go to the toilet yet. If you can, if it's possible for you, but looking at the people over here, some of you may not be possible. Maybe every hour you have to go, If you have to go, then well and good. No problem. But if you can, if it's possible for you, after the walking meditation, don't go to the toilet straight away, you go to the sitting meditation. Bring all your mindfulness that you have developed to the sitting. You bring it to the sitting. Then when you start to sit, you adjust your body properly. Now, some of you are doing cross-legged. Some of you are doing cross-legged. Some of us may not able to do cross-legged, but may need to sit on the chair. but it's better to sit cross-legged. For a long-term development, cross-legged is better than a chair. We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it. So the cross-legged, there are a few ways we can do cross-legged. And this one is not cross-legged, the Buddha. This one is sitting, like me. So cross-legged, there are a few types. This is called a Burmese way of doing. Burmese way, you don't overlap on each other. Your feet is something like that. You don't overlap. Either left out, this thing is. So it's perfectly all right. So with this also, you try to spread your knees, especially wider, so that it can able to go down, if it's possible for you. I think most of you can able to sit. So if you are wide or completely never start meditation before, especially you never sit on the floor before, or whole life sitting on the sofa and a chair, then it's going to be hard for you. Every time you sit down, the two knees is always like hanging on the air. But most of you, I can see that it's good. You can able to do that. Your body is flexible enough. Then wonderful. So you have your own way of sitting. This one way of sitting. Another way is called the quarter lotus. Quarter lotus is that one foot is on your calf, okay, left or right, then one foot is down. Then you have a half lotus, then one foot is on the thigh, the other foot is on the cushion, something like that. Then you have a full lotus. Full lotus is that the 2 feet is on the thigh. That is a bit difficult for a lot of people. There's no best way, There's no best way there. It's your own comfort. What is important is that the feet is comfortable to you. It's comfortable, especially right in the beginning. Okay, so your hands you can put it this way. One on top of the other, or you can put it on your knees. Okay, also can. As long as your hands are comfortable. Sometimes if you do a Burmese method, the Burmese method, because of your 2 legs are down, so sometimes you may want to put a towel so that at least it goes a bit higher. If not, the hand is like, stretched down a little bit, and later on your shoulders maybe feel a bit more tense and sour feeling. So sometimes they put a bit, but not too high. Just relax there. But if you don't need, then you don't have to use it. Then the next thing, your eyes. Also your specs also, for some of you are wearing specs. Now it's up to you whether you want to take off your specs or not. As long as that specs doesn't disturb you. For me, I take off my spec. It feels lighter. Because for me, after meditating some time, sensitivity of the mind is there. Then you feel actually there's some weight there. It's just that in everyday life, we don't really take notice of those things. But in meditation, the minds get more sensitive. Then there is a difference. So it's up to you. You want to put on your specs or take off your specs, it's fine. But as long as your eyes are closed and the eyeball is about somewhere 2 feet in 3 feet in front. The eyeball again, your eyeball is not supposed to look straight forward. There's also a kind of a thing. Because sometimes in some places, if somebody walking in front of you, even with your eye closed, there's always some shadow. So we keep the eyes this one. Eyes closed and the eyeballs down. So you keep your back, the whole back, relatively straight and comfortable. Doesn't mean that it has to be straight like a pole. You don't have to. Some people sit like, it's like they are tense up the whole body, and that is not good. I mean, it looks good, but it's not good. Externally, people thought that, oh, what a great meditator, sits so straight. I've seen a lot of meditators like that. It's just a kind of like a show off. Anyway, what is important? You sit relatively straight. Some of you may be slightly
slanted to the front, it's okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's slanted to the front, it's all right. And especially if you sit the Burmese method, some people find that you putting some cushion at the back, it lifts up the buttock a little bit, then naturally the back becomes straighter. Yeah. So it all depends on you. So if you have a slightly bend towards the front, don't worry about it. Yeah? But not too much. Just slightly is perfectly all right. If you can straight, then fine. Yeah? So what is important again? Your body is relaxed. Okay. So this is the external thing. Yeah. So the external thing is only consists 5% of your development. 95% of your development is the meditation objects and how you pay attention to your meditation object. Yeah. So don't become too obsessive about how you sit this way or that way. Yeah. As important as that you sit down, you are ready, and you don't move for the whole hour, for the whole sitting. You try not to move as best as you can. Yeah. So the first thing, when you are ready, again here, to start off with the meditation, the sitting, it's good that just to be aware that you are sitting here. Your body is present. Just like walking. Before we start to walk, we're not standing. In the sitting also the same thing. We're not sitting. A few times of sitting, we are here. The presentness of the mind is here. Okay? Yeah. Then when you're able to do that, then the next thing, bring your attention to the rising and falling of your abdomen. Yeah? Bring your attention to the rising and falling of the abdomen. Now, some of you may have done in the past, you do an in-breath, out-breath. It's fine if you do that. But as I said, while we are here, the in-breath, out-breath, as best as you can, you put it aside. But it's not that easy. You want to put it here, the rising, falling, it will go up again, in-breath, out-breath. Because this is you are used to it. But again, make an effort to bring it down again. Rising, falling, rising, falling. And it goes up again. Just keep it, bring it down. Okay? But for those who are already used to this rising and falling, then if you don't have this problem, then okay. I mean, it's not a problem, of course. But if you don't have that in-breath and out-breath coming in, if you're just able to notice your rising and falling, then well and good. Okay? Again here, labeling process also is important. Mentally you label it. When it's rise, what you should do? Rising. Yeah, you label it as rising. When it's fall, you label it as falling. Yeah. Some people's rising is up and down. Some people is like forward and backward. So whichever way, up or down, forward, backward, you just use rising and falling. Okay? What is important again here, your attention is there. Yeah. Notice that rising and falling, rising, falling. Now, if you cannot feel it for the first few days, again, use your palm or your cushion. Sometimes you just put a cushion gently onto the stomach area. Yeah? Breathe in naturally. Don't try to take a deep breath. In a way of meditation, everything has to be done naturally. Some yogis, they is it bigger? Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. Don't try all kinds of ways. Yeah. You are not clear, it's not because you don't have a stomach. You're not clear because your mindfulness is not there yet. It takes mindfulness to be aware of that movement. Yeah. Usually in the beginning, you will notice a little bit. Then after that, it starts to go and fade away, then it disappears. In other words, the mindfulness is not strong. Okay? So what I want you to do is this. You bring your attention to the rising and falling. Yeah? You cannot put your palms there, put this one there, and learn to feel. Just breathe naturally, rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling. Yeah. Okay? Now, you notice as best as you can, as much as you can. While you are noticing this rising and falling, sometimes it may get longer or shorter. Okay, it may get longer, shorter, faster, slower. Sometimes one is longer, the other one is shorter. You take note of its characteristic. You take note of this characteristic, how it moves. And that is important. Those things are important, whether it's long, short, fast, slow, tight. One is longer, the other one is shorter. So you tell me, what do you notice during the interview? Okay? Now, with that, sometimes the rising and falling is not clear. Then you have to choose, then you have to go to another object. Say, for example, if it's not clear, make sure that your mind goes to what we call a sitting and touching method. Sitting and touching, it's where, for example, your hands here. Your hands are touching, right? Your buttock, right buttock, left buttock. Just take these 3 points first for the beginning. There are many ways we can do sitting and touching. But for the beginning, we use this way. So, what you should do? Touching, 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 4-5 times. Then after that, you shift your attention to the right buttock. Touching, touching, touching. Sitting, 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 sitting. Then you the left buttock, sitting, 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 sitting. Then you come back again to the touching again. You go one round.